It's 2 in the morning. The house is silent, save for the rhythmic, steady breathing of your dog as they sleep. Their paw twitches, maybe they're dreaming of yesterday's game of fetch. You look at them and feel that warm, lingering sense of peace. You believe they are safe. You believe you're doing everything right. We're used to thinking of kidneys as just a biological filter, something that only wears out with old age. We think it's a matter of pure luck or genetics. But behavioral neuroscience and modern veterinary medicine tell a completely different story. What is happening inside that small body right now is the result of hundreds of invisible decisions you've made over the last few years. And sadly, the 16 most fatal mistakes aren't made out of malice. They are made out of love. Let's start with the most common theory. My dog looks healthy. They're active, so their organs must be fine. It sounds logical. We're used to judging health by a wagging tail and an undying appetite. But here is the main problem. Dogs are the great masters of disguise. Evolution has taught dogs to hide their internal pain until their very last breath. In the wild, showing weakness is a path to becoming prey. According to data from the University of Pennsylvania, dogs' kidneys can lose up to 75% of their function before you see the first symptoms in a blood test for creatinine. This means that by the time your dog starts drinking just a little more than usual, 3/4 of their filters may already be non-functional. So why do we make these 16 mistakes? Because we project our human biology onto them. My think, if it helps me, it'll help them. Or, it's just one grape, what's the harm? But a dog's metabolism is a completely different chemistry. Why do we miss the signals? The answer lies in a classic study from Duke University, led by Dr. Brian Hare. Scientists discovered a phenomenon they called the paradox of attachment. The more we love our dogs, the more our brains are inclined to ignore small changes in their behavior. We see them as a person, not a biological system. When a dog refuses water, or conversely, drinks too greedily, we say, well, it's just one of those days. But when your dog makes that choice to endure pain just to meet you at the door, they are performing the most fundamental act in attachment psychology. They are placing social connection above biological survival. Mistake Hasson. Human medications. Common ibuprofen or aspirin. For us, it's relief. For their kidneys, it's immediate necrosis of the renal tubules. Mistake #2. Grapes and raisins. We still don't know exactly which toxin they contain, but a 2021 study from Cornell University confirmed that even a single grape can trigger acute kidney failure in sensitive dogs. Mistake #3. Ignoring oral hygiene. It sounds strange, but bacteria from diseased gums enter the bloodstream and settle in the kidneys, causing microabscesses. They aren't just getting picky when they stop eating. They are trying to tell you that their internal filtration system is clogged with toxins. But because of our neurobiological love blindness, we notice too late. But here is where it gets really interesting. It's not just psychology, it's chemistry. In 2023, a team of researchers from the Royal Veterinary College, RVC, published a paper on the effect of endorphins on the perception of chronic pain in dogs. It turns out that a dog's brain produces significantly more joy hormones when in contact with a human than a wolf's brain does. This powerful cocktail of oxytocin and endorphins literally muffles the signals from the kidneys. A dog might feel nausea or a burning sensation in their body due to high urea levels, but the moment you pick up the leash, their neurochemistry shifts into overdrive. They look happy, but in that moment, their kidneys are crying out for help. Mistake #4. Excess salt in treats, hidden salt in cheap, tasty snacks, forces the kidneys to work to the point of exhaustion. Mistake hash 5, the dirty bowl. The bacterial biofilm in an unwashed bowl is a constant load on the immune system, which eventually strikes the nephrons. Mistake hash 6, antifreeze. Just one drop on the asphalt. The sweet taste of ethylene glycol is a 4-8-hour death sentence. This masking mechanism evolved alongside us. We selected the dogs that were the most human-oriented, meaning those who were best at hiding their pain so as not to upset the alpha. When did this conflict between biology and loyalty begin? We need to go back 15,000 years. Ancient wolves who approached the camps of our ancestors fed on the remains of our food. No, that food was simple: meat, bones, roots. They didn't have access to preservatives, sweeteners like xylitol, which destroys the liver and kidneys, or excess phosphorus from low-quality kibble. Archaeological finds show that ancient dogs had almost no signs of the chronic kidney disease we see today. These illnesses are a civilization tax. We changed their genetics to make them gentler, but we couldn't change their kidneys to handle modern chemistry. Mistake hash 7, excess phosphorus. A study from the University of Guelph showed that high phosphorus levels in cheap food are the primary driver of kidney degradation. Mistake hash 8, lack of water. Dogs are descendants of the wolf. They can go a long time without drinking, but in a home with central heating, their kidneys are in a constant state of microdehydration. Now, I want to tell you about a study that almost no one talks about because its results seem paradoxical. In 2019, scientists from the University of Oslo studied dogs with early-stage kidney failure. They found that dogs living in families with high stress levels and constant conflict lost kidney function 1.5 times faster than dogs in calm homes, even on the exact same diet. How is this possible? The connection between the brain and the kidneys is direct. Cortisol, the stress hormone, causes the blood vessels in the kidneys to constrict. A dog constantly in a state of anxiety is literally squeezing the blood supply to their own kidneys. Mistake hash 9, chronic stress. Your anxiety becomes their renal failure. Mistake hash 0, ignoring weight. Excess fat promotes the production of adipokines proteins that cause inflammation in kidney tissues. A recent 2024 study showed that the biological stress markers of an owner and their dog are synchronized at a level of 61%. This means your state directly affects your pet's metabolic health. When you neglect your own sleep or nutrition, you subconsciously begin to neglect theirs. You forget to pour fresh water, or you give them a harmful table scrap to compensate for the guilt of a long workday. It's a neurobiological cycle that destroys your dog's kidneys because of your own fatigue. Here is a finale to this story that I must tell you. Kidneys do not regenerate. Unlike the liver, they lack the ability to heal. Every dead nephron is gone forever. If you notice even one of these signs, do not wait until morning. The smell of ammonia or stale meat from the mouth. A change in urination habits, too frequent or suspiciously rare. The dog has become picky with food, even if they used to eat everything. They've started sleeping more, but the sleep seems heavy. It's not old age. It's a cry from a system that has already failed by 70%. So, when you wake up tonight and see your dog taking up 80% of your bed, remember that their life is in your hands. Literally. 15,000 years of evolution created this creature, whose heart beats in unison with yours. And all they ask in return is for you to be their eyes and their protector, so that you don't make those 16 mistakes that could cut your time together short by years. Kidneys are silent, but your love must be loud. It must be expressed in fresh water, proper nutrition, and attention to the smallest details. Narrator, because in their world, the safest place is right beside you. Make sure that place lasts as long as possible. If this video made you look at your friend's health in a new way, subscribe to Mindful Pause and tell us in the comments. When was the last time you checked your dog's health? Your story could save a life. And if you want to know why your dog stares into your eyes when you leave for work, we'll talk about that in the next video. Trust me, the science there is even more touching than you'd expect. See you soon.